Hello, welcome back to The Young Voter. Across the country, Republicans are once again waging a war on women's health. And once again, abortion is their prime target. In South Dakota, the governor is soon expected to sign a bill into law which would require women to visit pregnancy health centers before they can have an abortion, where people, clinicians, posing as doctors, they are not doctors, would tell women the harm that an abortion could do to them, the bad thing that an abortion is. And they would also say that an abortion can cause cancer, which is, of course, not true. They will also say, they will be required to say, not only that an abortion causes cancer, but also that the fetus will endure pain when the operation is performed. Of course, that is not true. Republicans never base anything on facts on the ground. So this law is basically telling clinicians to lie to people. Republicans have this odd notion that women are just dying to have abortions. They're just really itching to go and just really want to do it. They'd want to have more abortions if they could. I don't think they really comprehend, or maybe they refuse to comprehend. Maybe they do comprehend it, but they chose to ignore it, like every other fact. Women do not take abortion lightly. It is a very serious issue, a very painful issue for women to go through. And this is not going, in most cases, to prevent the abortion. It's going to only inflict more pain and more suffering on these people. Okay? So the interesting thing is, Republicans aren't having a one-child policy like in China. They're having a billion-child policy. They're making you have children. Isn't that sort of ironic? It's not that, oh, you can't have kids, you can only have one kid, I'm communist. No, you have to have a lot of kids. You have to have every kid. That seems pretty top-down to me. Of course, it violates the principle of small government that Republicans generally like to espouse, and a lot of small government Republicans have come out against such measures because they basically go into the doctor's office and tell people what they should do. I would like to remind my Republican friends that the last time I checked, abortion was legal in this country, and that you really can't undermine that basic premise, even though you are. Okay, abortion is legal in this country. Okay, end of discussion. End of this. Okay, so stop trying to undermine it. You're being hypocrites while you do it, and you're inflicting more pain and suffering on women who shouldn't have to endure anymore. Other political news of the week. Another small bit of analysis that I want to do. The country is not broke. The states are not broke. Okay? Most states can pay full benefits for all of their workers and all of the people that they have to provide pensions to, etc., for 10 years. That's the average. Okay? Yeah. There are problems down the road, but the states are not broke. The country isn't broke. The country is not just defaulting on its debt, even though some Republicans would like that to happen with preventing the debt limit ceiling from being raised. But the states are not defaulting. The country is not defaulting. The country is not broke, okay? Now, they want to make the country appear broke so that the economic recovery is stalled, okay? They want to cut any sort of investing by the government, investment in the future of America, so that the economic recovery can stall and President Obama can be blamed for it. And then they can win the White House in 2012. That is exactly what they want to do. Okay. Finally, the most ridiculous item of news over the past 2 days. Okay. Well, the other day, okay, on Wednesday, the Republican senators in Wisconsin acted in treachery in violation of the Fair Meetings law in Minnesota, cast an illegal vote to pass the restrictions on collective bargaining They were taken out of the budget, so they had no budgetary impact, so no quorum was needed. Of course, Governor Scott Walker had said these provisions had to be adopted so that the budget could be balanced, but that is, of course, not the case, because they were able to pass it only because it had no budgetary impact. You have to have a quorum for a budgetary impact. You did not. The quorum requirement was lower for this kind of a vote, thus proving that this has nothing to do with the budget. This is a philosophical battle against workers in this country, more Republican treachery, okay, a last desperate measure, which hopefully will not stand in court because it violated Wisconsin's fair meeting laws. Finally, in Michigan, more Republican outrage, okay, really a dictatorship almost. I would be venturing not too far from the truth by saying that this is a call to dictatorship. Now a bill was passed that the governor is going to sign into law that would allow the governor to dissolve any local elected government and appoint one official to control the town. The governor can dissolve towns, he can dissolve school districts, he can dissolve any sort of elected entity or body under his control, and he can appoint one person in charge. Now, what about big government do Republicans like? Generally, they say nothing. But it seems to me that they love big government, especially when one person, a Republican, is in charge. Thank you again for watching The Young Voter.